before my little garden goes to sleep fully, I want to take advantage of what's left before it, you know, completely goes dormant, and make some beautiful remedies such as Motherwort Tincture and Motherwort Vinegar, and probably I see a little bit of lemon balm, and I think I might cut some of this limelight mugwort with Spanish lavender and make some sticks. I'm just really excited to take what's available and do something before it all goes away. I have with me different jars. This is like a big jar, so there's a lot of motherwort, so I think I'm able to make a lot. And then I have different sizes of jars just because sometimes there's not a lot of a plant, so I want to have a variation of different jars, even a smaller one. And then I have my vinegar and my vodka, so I'm really excited to show you some of the stuff that I'm going to be working with. Oh, and by the way, this here in front of me is a hotel bug. A bug hotel. So it has corn and pine cones and birch tree and pine tree and cedar tree and hay and apples and salt, and it's all material, and the insects could go in through here and out through the other, but we want to be able to see the insects that go in here, just because it's good to invite a biodiversity of bugs into your garden. So if you provide a place for them to stay during the winter, they'll come in and lay their larvae, like their eggs. And so this was really exciting, a nice project to do with your kids. If you're homeschooling or if you're teaching from home and you want to do something fun, this is a nice activity that it's a family oriented, and so you and your husband and your kids will enjoy doing this. Look how. This right here is the motherwort that I planted, and she gave birth to so many cute babies all around my garden. And as you can see, some of the leaves are turning yellow, so I need to take some of her now in before she goes to bed and that you know, lays dormant. So I want to make some motherwort tincture and vinegar with Leonurus cardiaca. So right now I'm grabbing the aerial part, and I'll take the best looking leaves from motherwort. This one doesn't look that good. Scan through them and use the best leaves to make the vinegar. So basically the difference between a vinegar, look, there's a little bug right there. The difference between a vinegar and a tincture is the medium, what you're using. So for the vinegar, I'm using apple cider. Some people prefer to use rice vinegar, or they use regular vinegar, or people use balsamic vinegar, and it's up to you. It's what you have at hand. And okay, I think this is a good bunch that I'm gonna work with. Again, I am gonna look through and take out the leaves that look like this. This looks so pretty. Motherwort. Alright, so I definitely want to do a big jar because I feel like there's enough motherwort for this vinegar. And the botanical name for motherwort is Leonurus cardiaca, which is the lion-hearted one. And as I'm looking through her, I just want to, you want to make sure that there's no bugs. Like, inspection is important, right? So you inspect and yeah, make sure the plant looks good, right, before cutting her. You know, I take enough and this has been my garden, and I want to use her before she goes dormant. I'm really excited to use Motherwort. She's definitely a great ally. You see how this one doesn't look, see? But I'm throwing it back to the garden because it's gonna decompose and the energy is gonna go right back to my garden. So I'm just picking the best leaves. The reason why I'm doing a vinegar is because I want to take some of her nutrition, and she in the vinegar, when you do vinegars with aromatic plant, well, Motherwort is a bitter, but she has a lot of calcium, and vinegars, the medium vinegar, are great for taking that out and bringing it into you. So what do you do with the vinegar, right? You could cook with it, you could make soups and beans. You could either just take a spoon just like that. So it's just a way to have supplementation better than calcium pills, right? And it's another way to work with the plant in order to get to know her better, right? So not only do I take her as a tincture, I take her as a vinegar because I want to develop a closer relationship. I'm not always taking Motherwort internally. I only take her if I have anxiety, if I have some grief or some like you know, like really, like, I don't know, something really crazy happened and I just have to like need to calm down, or if I'm suffering, if I have some grief, I work with Motherwort and Hawthorn to help my heart get through it, right? If I'm having any down there issues such as like cramps, Motherwort is here for that to help. And so she's a beautiful, beautiful plant. She makes you feel like you're in her arms. It's wonderful. So I want you to notice, if you notice the stem of Motherwort is very square. That's a good sign to tell about her. She looks like this when she's a baby. Look at her leaflets, right? Look at her pattern. And she's easier to identify when she is in flower, but it's autumn. Let me show you a piece of her dry flowers. Hold on. So this is the stem that is now dried. These things are really pointy, and they actually, ouch, yeah, but this is where her seeds are. But she blooms purple, little purple flowers here, and then her leaves become smaller. But the stem lets you know that the mint family is usually a square stem, and that's it's a good form of identification. So what I'm doing now is still going through the leaves and separating, making sure there's no little bugs, and picking the best leaves for the medicine. And then I like to cut the leaves for surface space. You ever have like a garlic, and when you cut it, it throws out more of its potency? Well, that's why I cut it like this. You could just put it in if you like. I just like to create more surface space, and I like making the medicine right away because I want that energy. You see, this is like, oh, it's milk. This is it milk? This, oh, no, this is the one, milkweed. A milkweed seed. Yay! That's butterfly. Caterpillars eat that a lot before they become butterflies. Hello. So some bugs they like the leaves. So I might have to put some of these in my little bug hotel, because definitely they're eating it, right? That's a good thing. I'm glad that they're enjoying Ms. Motherwort. You will feel like you're in the arms of your mom, nurtured. She helps with cramp, and then if you have very strong periods, then don't use it, because she helps like open up the arteries of the uterus and also of your heart. That's why she's the lion-hearted one. She's good at opening those so that more blood flow could happen. And so that's why it's great medicine for us women to work with. Motherwort helps you sleep. She's amazing for insomnia. So if you take her at night, she is fabulous, especially the tincture. I'm specifically talking about the tincture right now in terms of the cramps and the anxiety part, and also for sleep purposes. And normally if you take like 10 drops, she got your back. You don't need that much. Like I said, I don't use it often, so I want to make the vinegar, so I take advantage of her nutrition profile, which is full of calcium. It's amazing. So yep, I'm just making the vinegar mostly with the leaves. I'm focusing on the leaves. If I was making the tincture, I'll use the stem, the aerial part with the flowering buds. But this time I'm gonna try making a tincture with just the leaves and see how that works. You know, like see if there's a difference in potency. You know, I'd like to try that. Okay. This is a very easy plant to grow. I had one and she became the mom, and she definitely spreads easily, so she's not hard. She's a good herb to grow, just like any of the mint family. They spread easily, so you have to be aware of that in terms of design of your garden, if you don't want like your whole garden to be overrun by the mint family. I specifically had no problem because I definitely wanted lemon balm and mint and motherwort. I definitely wanted motherwort. So happy of how much motherwort I have. And like, you don't even have to propagate them, you know, like she just spreads on her own. I did, when she was seeding, I shaked her around a little, like I would be like, ah. And so I think that helps, maybe. But yeah, what I'm doing is removing leaves that look yellowish, and I'll probably put that inside the bug hotel, and I'm giving it back to the garden. So there's never waste. There's always composting and reusing. And so far I need like half more. Well, alright, so I cut enough all the way to the top, and now I'm just adding the vinegar. It's apple cider. I prefer pasteurized. You could do this. Anyone could do this. I believe in you. And the point is that first you got to learn to identify it, and then you got to commit to trying it. And this is better in the spring, the leaves, but it's still, I believe, good. So I'm still working with her. And I'm gonna put it all the way to the top. With vinegar, you don't want to use metal because it would corrode, and I also put parchment paper. Yeah, here. Because the vinegar will cause rust, like an acid, and I don't want to do that. Here we go. There. And so this is my Motherwort Vinegar tincture, and you have to label it, because once you start making medicine then you forget what is that, so it's easier to label it and just know when you made it, so that you know when it would be ready. This would take 6 weeks, Motherwort Vinegar, and today is October 3rd, and so it would be ready in 6 weeks. And I labeled this, and I put this on my dark cabinet cupboard. Nothing fancy, just, you know, I mean, I just got some label. Sometimes I reuse stuff, but there it is, Motherwort Vinegar. 6 weeks, delicious vinegar that is gonna be yummy, yummy. So now I'm focusing on creating a Motherwort tincture. I grabbed a smaller bottle, and the difference between a Motherwort vinegar and tincture is the medium, and the medium is what the liquid. What, you know, are you going to be using honey or vinegar or vodka or grain alcohol? There's different things that people use. Oil, you know, the medium. So I'm focusing right now on using like the younger shoots of the plant, the babies, as the energy is more there. And so when I'm grabbing the plant, see how it looks yellow, I'm taking that out because it's fall, and it's better to do a tincture in the spring when it's flowering. However, it's fall, and I still want to make use of the growth. There's still growth in here, and so I'm putting some of that stem and the baby leaves, so removing kind of like the you know, the plant material that is yellow and not looking as strong, and you know, really, you know, picking out anything that might have bugs or that has been chewed by a bug, and examining what I'm putting in. Everything is about being conscious, and as I'm creating the medicine, you know, there's this connection of gratitude, and really as I'm taking this out and putting it, I'm gonna give it back to my garden, and also put some in the bug hotel. So she's still gonna be here in my garden, and being grateful for, you know, the medicine that that she's able to give to me and my family and friends. My husband loves Motherwort, absolutely one of his favorite allies, and so it was important for me to have this medicine in our garden. So I'm reusing a jar, and I use 100 proof vodka, which is 50% alcohol, 50% water. So if there's a good reverse osmosis, I like things simple. I don't want to do math. And I'm filling it with vodka, as you can see, all the way to the top. And this is pretty packed with the leaves. And I also like to put some parchment paper on top, just so that there's no alcohol and plastic touching. better to use glass. And even if you had the other regular lids, I still would put the parchment paper in between. Now we label this with the name of the plant. It's Motherwort, the common name. However, it's the Latin name, botanical name is Leonurus cardiaca, the lion-hearted one.
Oh, wait. I'm gonna see if any.
So I have labeled this with Motherwort. You could actually write the botanical name, that way you could learn it. That's one way to start remembering the many names of plants, right? But Motherwort Tincture, I put it the date, that way I know when this medicine would be ready, which is in 6 weeks. I put it in a dark cupboard, and this medicine would be ready for use. It's a little bit bitter. When you taste it, it tastes a little bit like chocolate. Take about 10 to 15 drops, and you actually feel it, like you feel sleepy, you feel held. The tincture helps a lot of people with, like, it's almost like a bypass, right? A bottle, your bypass bottle, because it opens up your heart veins, right? It creates new veins in your heart, like pumps more blood, and also in your uterus. So it's really good with the for blood pressure. And so a lot of people use this along with like hawthorn or rose medicine. It's good. It's good medicine to combine. Oh, there's a blue jay. Hi, blue jay. It's so beautiful. Oh, he's so cute. Anyhow, Motherwort Tincture and Motherwort Vinegar. Like I said, this video is about Motherwort Tincture and Motherwort Vinegar, both excellent medicines for anyone, not just us women, but she is a great medicine that I highly recommend, that I highly ask you to try, highly ask you to either get it from a friend or an herbalist, or try to grow it yourself and experiment with it. Once you try Motherwort, you're pretty much best friends with her. She's like, she has to be in my household. Like, there's no ifs or buts. That's why, even though I already have like two little jars of her, I still want to make more, because there's always a need for Motherwort. There's so much anxiety in this world, and she has so much minerals and calcium, and she just makes us feel really good, and she's so healthy for us. And right now I'm working with the mother energy of, like, you know, Mother Mary, and also Mary Magdalene and Sarah Tamar, and so all this like divine feminine energy, and I feel like Motherwort is one of those plants that really brings the divine energy, connecting us to our womb wisdom and heart. She's like the plant that's connecting our heart to our womb, and we're missing that. Like, we need to be connecting, not from the head and heart, from the womb and heart. That right there, that connection, that is our power, that is our wisdom, right? Because we have all this knowledge, but we need to tune in and tap into the experience, what we bring into the world, and like embody that femininity. It's time for the divine feminine to come out here and do what we're supposed to be doing, bringing the new world, the new age of Aquarius forward, with the divine feminine energy balanced with the divine masculine together, right? As a humanarchy, not a matriarchy, matriarchy, humanarchy, right? We're humans, we're human beings, not doings, right? So I hope you have enjoyed this video. It's Motherwort, the lion-hearted plant. I love her. I hope you love her as much as I do, and I hope you have a blessed, blissful, beautiful day. Thank you for watching.